Welcome back everybody for another Healthy Futures video. Who can remember what we spoke about last week? That's right, it was dental hygiene, and we finished last week's lesson with an experiment. It was called the egg experiment.
We used eggs in our egg experiment because the eggshell has got lots of calcium, just like our teeth. And we wanted to find out what would happen to our teeth if we drank lots of the liquids that we placed inside our eggs. Now, if you remember, we had 3 eggs and 3 liquids. Mr. Tremaine's got the egg inside the water. I've got the egg with the Coke and the vinegar, which was quite acidic. Now, as you can see, or you might not be able to see, but we'll show you a close-up shortly, the egg inside the water was not affected whatsoever. So the calcium was fine, and therefore our teeth would be fine also. But the eggs inside the vinegar and the Coke were badly decayed and being affected by the liquid that they were staying in. We'll show you a picture of these eggs close up, and hopefully you'll be able to take a little bit of time to have a look at these with your teacher.
This week's lesson is called the human body. By the end of today, we hope that you will all have a better understanding of how our human body works, and also some really important parts that are in our bodies as well.
Now, to get yourselves ready for today's lesson, we're going to do a fun warm-up activity with you. The warm-up activity is called body parts, and this is how it works. You need 3 people in your group, and you need 1 object. We're using a cone. In your groups of 3, you'll stand in a triangle. 2 people will play against each other. The 3rd person will be the leader. You'll place your object in the centre between the 2 people. These 2 people are going to compete against each other, and the leader is going to call out a body part. Then it's a competition between the 2 players to see who can touch that body part the quickest. So if the leader called out shoulders, you can see that I touch my shoulders before Mr. T. If the leader called out head, you can see that Mr. T was quicker than me. If the leader calls out cone, it's the first person to bend down and grab the cone.
Now, we're going to give you a chance to play this with me and Mr. Kennard. All you need to do is get into your freeze and find an object that you would like to play with as well.
Are you ready? Have you got your groups of 3? And have you got your 1 cone or your object? We're going to call out some body parts for you now. Head.
Shoulders.
Elbows.
Knees.
Ears.
Eyes.
Head.
Toes.
Cone. Well done. How did you get on? This time you're going to play in your groups of 3. 1 person will be the leader, and you can take it in turns to swap over who's in charge of the activity. Play for a few times and then come back to us when you're ready.
How did you find that warm-up? Hopefully you mentioned lots of different body parts when you were playing the body parts game. The most important body part that we have though is our heart, as it helps to keep us alive.
There's different things that you can do to keep your heart healthy. You can do some exercise, but also you can make healthier choices throughout your day. In a second, you're going to see some different videos, and on the videos, there'll be some options. You need to decide which one is the healthiest option and which one will keep your heart healthier.
How did you find that game of decisions? Did you manage to choose the correct decision for each of the 6 different activities that we done to benefit your hearts?
As well as keeping your heart healthy, the human body has got other amazing things also. There's something called our senses. Now there are 5 different senses in your human body. The first one is touch with your hands.
The next one is smell with your nose.
We also have sight or seeing with your eyes.
The next one is hearing with your ears.
And finally, my favourite, you've got tasting with your tongue. We're going to try a couple activities looking at some of those senses. The first one we're going to try is hearing with our ears. We're going to clap a rhythm to you, and we want you to copy that rhythm and clap it back to us. But you're going to have to be really concentrating and listen in to the clap. Mr. T is going to start you off.
Okay, are we ready? So repeat my clap after me.
Here's the next one.
Here's the next one.
And here's the final one. How did you get on? Sometimes it's really difficult to listen as to what's going on, but it's a really important skill for you to try to master. Another sense that we're going to look at is the sense of sight, and we've got a memory game for you.
The way that this game is going to work is Mr. Kennard is now going to leave the video, and he has got some different items that he's going to throw to me. The table in front, I will start to place all of the items on. Now, you've got to try to remember what the different items are. So it's a bit like a memory game as well. Are we ready? By the end of the video, when we say pause, that's when you've got to try and put your hands up for your teachers to ask you what you remember seeing. Are you ready? A frisbee, a TV remote, a dice, a ball, a frog, a red pen, a blue cone, box of tissues, a skipping rope, a hula hoop, a red bib, and finally a parachute to cover all of the items. Your teacher is now going to pause the video, see if you can put your hands up and challenge yourself to see how many different items you can remember. How did you get on with our sight game? Did you manage to get most of the items that were on the table in front of me and Mr. Kennard? Well done if you did. Now there were 3 other senses that we didn't play an activity for as well. The first one was taste, the next one was touch, and the final one was smell. Now don't worry that we didn't do an activity for these, it's really important that you can remember them though.
We hope that you've enjoyed today's lesson and finding out all about our human body. Remember, our most important body part was our heart, and we've looked at how we can make healthier choices to keep our hearts healthy. And then we've also spoken about our 5 senses. We'll look forward to seeing you next week for another session on Healthy Futures Bite Size.